Greetings dear viewers, and welcome to another Minecraft video. So, I figured in this session, one thing that we could do, because as you can hear there is a spider doing its thing somewhere nearby. Apparently a skeleton. But it sounded like the skeleton was getting damaged, so I think that skeleton was outside, because it just turned morning. Well, I did a few things off camera. As you can see, there's a bunch of trees out here now, and those weren't there in the previous episode. Well, they may have been there in the bonus episode, but not the episode before that. Oh, there's a spider right there. It might be that spider that I was hearing. It seems to just be trying to climb up a wall now, right? I don't think it's really going to be bothering us all that much. How old is Minecraft now? And that's how spiders climb walls? Come on, man. Come on. How much of this are we going to let go? Like, as a community. How much? Look at that spider. It just magnetizes its face to the side of any object. And we're okay with this now? I mean, it's been so long since Minecraft was in alpha. It's still a very incomplete game, isn't it? I mean, even this was called the combat update, and all it really did was add a different swing for the sword and the axe and some shields. I mean, what do you... It took them a year. Alright, so how are we gonna let this slide? How are we as a community gonna let this slide? We're just gonna keep on track, and we're gonna let them keep doing this, and I guess we're just gonna be fine with it. That's fine, I suppose. That's a totally different tangent. I realize, you know what, I'm not gonna go any further with it than that. I'm just gonna say, you know what, it works. It's working. I think that there is a cave system beneath this, and I was intending at the start of this session just now to go ahead and try and find out what's down there, maybe light it up a little bit so that while I'm in here doing things, I won't have to worry about any of that stuff, you know, worry about monsters spawning beneath the starting point. Although they would be harmless, they would still make sounds and stuff like that, so it could get a little bit distracting, and that's the only reason, really. And, you know, as far as commentary is concerned, there's disruptions of that nature, but there are some trees out here, so that was the only reason I was thinking about doing that, so we might be able to skip it. Anyway, there's some trees out here right now because I went and collected a whole bunch of lumber, because it's time to start collecting things for an actual fort and things like that. But this is still going to be a good little starting location. We still need raw resources. There's a lot of things that I want to do, and I need redstone for some of them, and we still need a whole bunch of resources and things like that. So, as we can see, I've collected a whole bunch of wood off camera. I picked up a bow. You know, there's some things going on here. And what we're going to do in this session, I think, is head on over to that ravine. But I'm going to bring some wood with me out there. Maybe this much. And these iron ingots. And a few... Well, I guess the number of torches I have is okay. We're going to do that number. We're also going to go ahead and stick with these couple of stone pickaxes for now. You know what? Maybe we won't. Maybe we won't. I'm going to go ahead and do this. You know what? We'll make two. We're going to make two steel pickaxes. Sorry, iron pickaxes. We're going to make a couple of iron pickaxes here. Because, as a friend of mine once said, you guys may know her, Red Summer 64 from the Planet Side 2 videos that are also on my channel. Playing some Minecraft with her some time ago, and I'm not sure if she got this quote from somewhere else or if it's one of her own, but she says, "Life is too short for iron pickaxes," or "Life is too short for iron tools." Sorry, "Life is too short for stone pickaxes." That's what it was. Or "Life is too short for stone tools." And I tend to agree. Let's upgrade these to iron now that we can. We'll go ahead and do a couple swords too. This seems like a good idea. We have a decent supply of starting iron right now, which is why we're doing things like this. You know what? I think I'm just going to stack in the stone stuff. As far as axes are concerned, yeah, we'll go ahead and stack those in there too. We'll make some iron axes too. Make a pair of each of these. Yeah, how's that sound? Does that seem pretty good? As far as tools are concerned, though, considering what we're planning on doing, I think another iron pickaxe ought to be good. So anyway, yeah, so that's a good little starting amount of things to do. Alright, so it's still pretty early in the day. It's like midday in Minecraft, so let's head out. I've got an idea of something that I want to do. I want to head over to this ravine. And the reason I planted a whole bunch of trees out there so that I could have a ready supply of lumber right outside the starter cave there. which seems pretty cool to me. We can see, this is pretty cool. I like how we can see that marker that I put to mark that one little, what appeared to be a drop into the ravine, just on the periphery of the ravine, right? Because here's the ravine itself, and then there's that little cave. It appears to be a drop some distance toward it. Oh, there's some lava right there. That's some pretty scary stuff. Let's see what we can spy over here. I want to do a couple things here. I'm not going to waste too much time doing this either, because it's going to turn night. What I have to do... Man, okay, so here's the ravine. I think we want a little bit of a waystation. I'm going to make a little bit of a waystation here. Oh, also out by the... out in front of the starter cave. I guess we can go ahead and do this. Let's use the axe. Get the one-shot crit. And... wow. That's fun. Okay, so we're going to do this number... Clear away the grass. Also out in front of the starter cave, I cleared out a lot of the grass. On a recommendation from a comment, actually, that I read on one of the previous episodes of X's Adventures in Minecraft Chapter 2, which is to clear out this grass, which makes it easier to hit targets, which makes it a little bit easier to defend myself, and things like that, so that's cool. Alright, so I think this is a pretty good spot to start, to do what I'm thinking of doing here. Okay, so I've taken some time to clear out the grass over here to kind of prepare a space to build in. Now it looks like it's already turning nighttime-ish, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and head back to the cave. Maybe do some inventory management and stuff while it's nighttime, and then we're going to come back out to this location to pick up this experience, because we used our axe on another piggy. I'm going to do this too, right here. We go. Okay. So yeah, we're going to head back to the little starter cave for a little bit, and then we'll come back out here once it's daytime again. I realize beds are a thing, and I'd like to say thank you to the viewership as a whole for not encouraging me to rush for a bed in the first few episodes of this series. It probably just didn't come to mind for most of you. But it's something that I realized was there and have opted not to make just yet. Because, well, I want shears, and I can make them now, of course. We've got the materials for that. And there are sheep out in that direction, so it's very possible to actually make a bed. But that's not something I'm actually interested in doing at this particular point. So anyway, like I said, we are going to wait out the night. We don't really have a whole lot of inventory management and stuff to do, but we are going to wait out the night and then get out there and continue doing what we were going to do. Alright, so we're back in the starter cave. It's only been a short while since the edit, or since the cut, because I am going to be editing this. It's only been a short while, so as you can see, the sun's still just going down. It's just now dusk. And I figured, you know what, since it's going to be nighttime and we don't have a bed just yet, let's go ahead and open up some of the potential options here, like try and tear a hole in the floor and the wall area around this spot here. Let's do this whole number, and let's try and see if we can find that opening, that little cave type area potentially here. I'm hoping in digging like a little stairway type area, we'll just hit it just by doing this. I'm hoping that's going to be the case, but who knows. I am glad that we have upgraded to an iron pickaxe here. Let's see if we can find anything. Okay, so we've dug a little bit of a ways down here, and we haven't hit anything yet. With as close as the monsters that we heard spawning around here were, I would think we would have hit that. If there was an opening in this area, we would have hit it in that direction by now. So we're just going to kind of leave this as is, turn it into a potential stairway thing later. For right now, we can just kind of seal it off for the time being, just because I don't really want to fall in there or anything along those lines. So we can just kind of seal it off for right now, because it could still become something later. That's got some potential. We'll see. We'll see what that actually becomes, if anything. Like I said, I have some plans for this cave aside from the purpose it currently serves. But we'll get into that a little bit later. If there is an opening somewhere, maybe it's off in this direction. But I have heard like skeletons and stuff Actually, when I heard them, they were kind of out here. So we're going to go ahead and dig here a little bit and see if we just hit something. We're going to try to do our best and not dig straight down, but who knows how that's going to work out, right? Who knows how that's going to work out? Alright, I feel like at this level we would have hit it by now. So we're just going to go ahead and grab some of this cobblestone. Actually, let's go ahead and use the dirt. Kind of fill that in. Alright, we'll just leave it like that for right now. It's still pretty early in the evening, so we're not going to do too much at this particular point, but I felt like that was a pretty good use of the nighttime in this particular case, and now I'm just going to get back to a little bit of inventory management and just do a little bit more planning before we jump ahead into what we're going to be doing next. So as we can see, the moon is setting now, and it's about to become morning. It's kind of early morning in the game right now, so we're going to go ahead and finish up our preparations here. I realized, I remembered that I have enough resources here to make a bow, which is essential, so we're going to pick that up. Also, there's another treasure chest, another chest over here that I made to hold all of the stone tools and things like that. They were kind of cluttering up what we had going here, and I'll pick up these arrows, of course, which are very important. Stack some of that stuff over there. And we'll hold on to the 12 dirt because dirt blocks could just come in handy. Either way, 14 arrows, that's a pretty good start for whenever I have my first bow, which we do now. And I think, for the most part, you know what, since we have... I'm going to grab some apples here. That works too. Alright, so we're off to a fairly good start here. Let's go ahead and head out since it's early morning. Let's make the most of the daytime here and get moving. Let's go ahead and sprint. I think we can afford to sprint a little bit. I hope we can afford to sprint a little bit. Gonna run out in this direction, and we should be able to pretty quickly find the clearing that we made. Yeah, okay, so it's not too far from the starter location, but it's far enough for what I have planned. Oh, an Enderman. Walking around with a grass block. Another one. Just doing their thing. Alright, off he goes. Alright, so there's that. We will have to eventually hunt Enderman to get to the end and do all that stuff. Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I want to build a staircase down. We could do ladders or something like that. There's some water there that I could use to quickly get down, then I could use ladders to get up if I wanted to do that. But I want a waystation first before anything else. Oh, I've got a stone shovel here. You know what? Since it's here, I didn't realize it was, but since it's here, let's go ahead and take this stone shovel. And I want to make a waystation. I'm not sure how big I want this waystation to be. We're just going to kind of play this by ear, right? Draw it by hand here a little bit, I guess you would say. And right here is a pretty good spot for it, I think. So all I really want for this waystation is a fairly sized room and maybe a storage room. That's all I really need for this location. Not much. It doesn't have to be like a fort or anything like that. So before we actually even build our initial fort, we're going to be building this waystation. And here's generally 4, 5. Here's generally how I like to build. Well, we'll go 7. 7. How I like to build my structures. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I like to lay out a floor plan first. Let's see, where were we at here? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So I like to lay out a floor plan first, usually. And we're going to do that just by cutting out a rough area of what it's going to look like. This is probably going to take up more wood than I intended. That usually happens to me, TBH. Alright, so I'm going to want the doorway to face this way, because I want it to face the ravine, so this is generally the way it's going to go. And like I said, I also wanted like a little storage room, a storage room area. So there's going to be an offshoot right there, and then the little storage room. I have no idea how big I want this little storage room to be. Gotta be bigger than that, obviously, but not. Let's see, if we're going to walk in here, it's got to be bigger than that. So if we're going to have some walking room, this is probably going to be about how big it probably should be right now. This is just going to be the floor plan area. TBH, that's not gonna work for me. Let's see if we walk in here. Yeah, maybe. If we need to expand it, we will. Yeah, if we need to expand upon it, we will. Maybe one more off this way. So how big is that exactly? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I like to use odd numbers. Okay, so that'll have to work. So it's actually kind of a fairly large storage room then. But, you know, to accommodate for chests and things like that, as far as storage rooms go, that's pretty small. Alright, so this is the general idea, general outline for the structure. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this, bam, make as many planks as we can off of that. And now we're going to lay out the floor. Just like this. And I like to use odd numbers for a lot of structures. You can use even numbers, but it depends on how you like to make your doors. I like to use odd numbers because I like to make doors like right in the center of a wall sometimes, and odd numbers just work really well for that because then you can have like an even number of spaces on either side of the wall, or you can choose to do it like this room, for example. This room right here, for example. This room is 7 wide, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, it's 7 wide, and it's got 3 spaces on either side. So actually, that's kind of right in the middle. But if we wanted to, we could have the door in a different spot. Like we could have 4 and 2 on either side, or 1 and 5, something like that. If you wanted to do that, maybe. All right, so that's the general floor plan right there. And now, just to make everything look nice and neat. You know what? I kind of want the door to be like right here. For example, this is an off-center door, but you have that option when you use odd numbers. You have the option of making it exactly centered because it's an odd number, or you can just do this, or you can go the other way with it. So we're going to do this number, and this is not necessarily the most efficient way to go about building these kinds of structures. Wow, we are going to need even more wood than what I've got planned for this, I think. But you know what? It's fine. If we need more wood, we can just go get more wood. Okay, so let's see. We're going to have this right here and all that good stuff. We're also going to need some glass. Glass is important. And me, I'm not a fan of low ceilings. That I'm not. So I don't want to make any low ceilings here. But this is going to be a pretty good little Waystation area here. Waystation Alpha is what we'll call this. We'll stick with the Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Epsilon, etc. naming scheme. Alright, so here we have this. We can already see how it's shaping up. And you know what, if we wanted to make it look a little bit more, if we wanted to make it look a little less blocky, there's always the option of rounding out the corners a little bit. This will also save some wood, which is also very important, because for every one of these corners that we round out, we're saving 3 blocks of wood, so that's kind of important. And really, they're just extraneous blocks of wood anyway. So that's something to consider if you're planning on doing the floor plan thing. And this is something that usually comes up whenever I do something along these lines. This one, oh, these ones aren't necessary. Okay, I was thinking they might be necessary. They actually are not. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely a good idea to save these. To save all of this extra wood. It's just a little bit more efficient. And I think that one's necessary. Yeah, it's necessary. Alright, so that looks better because it's not exactly a rounded building. It's like not completely rounded off. Alright, so we're going to do this. We'll take some of this wood that we saved and just keep building up here. That intrigues me, that dark block. Let's go take a look at that real quick. Okay, yeah, it's just a lighting effect kind of thing. I wasn't sure if it was like a cave, but Minecraft does this sometimes. The way to fix this is you can just get it to update the block by placing a light source or something. I wonder what's actually causing that. Minecraft sometimes doesn't really handle its lighting engine 100% perfectly. But if it's going to look like a cave and confuse me from afar, I'm just going to go ahead and light it up. So we don't got to worry about that. That's cool. Plus, you know, that torch will help prevent monsters from spawning. So back up here we go. We're going to go, yep, real quick. Do this whole bit. I think this is about as high as I'm going to want the ceiling for this. I'm going to want the roof, that is. Roof and ceiling. Let's see. if I place a block here now, is that comfy? Is that that's kind of cozy, right? I think ultimately we're gonna want a sunroof. We're gonna want a glass ceiling, not entirely glass, but we're gonna want a sunroof-ish area. Okay, this is cozy. It's almost a little too cozy. I think I want it up one higher. I think I want it up one higher than this. So let's build the wall up one more. I realize that's just yet more wood, but I don't know. Over the years, I've come to be a little bit picky about my in-game comfort when it comes to Minecraft. If the roof is too low, then I have problems with that. Oh, the music. The music is back. Welcome back, Minecraft music. Isn't that just lovely?